Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. It is mail call time. Well, kinda like mail call. First of all, I have the Glowbro with me and this is how I receive mail sometimes. I mean, of course, mail usually comes to my doorstep, but sometimes we get mail delivered to something like a locker system or a locker service called the POP station, you guys can see. And right now, the post office is closed because it is a Sunday, they don't really work on Sundays. So yeah, sometimes mail gets delivered here to the POP station, but sometimes Asire drops stuff into the POP station for me to pick up, like a locker service. So I decided that I would share this experience with you guys so that you know what's going on. I'm sure that some of you have this in your country as well. Maybe some of you don't, and that's why I think that it'll be interesting if I share it with you guys, just in case you've never seen this kind of a service before. And this is cool because everything is automated. You actually get an SMS or a message sent to your phone, and it tells you things like the locker number, the PIN, and stuff like that. For today, the locker that I have is B3, that one. So I'm gonna key in the details, and then that will just pop open. And what Asire left for me, basically, if you guys noticed on the Glowbro, one side of it is in copper, one side of it is in brass. It's because Asire sent me by accident one of the wrong plates. So I'm picking up the correct plate now. Here we go. Before I hit the key, I'm gonna try and change the camera angle so you guys can see the locker kind of pop open, which is pretty cool. Let's try. Here we go. So this is the package. Ta-da! When you're done, just close it up. And that's basically how it works. So home we shall go to install the copper plates on the other side so I can have a full stainless steel and copper Glowbro. Catch you all back again at the usual angle. Bye. Heading out to 18 Tai Seng for lunch today, and this is Chong Ning. I mean, you guys have seen it before, and I have the Glowbro with me again. This is the last day I'm having it on my rotation. So far, it's okay. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's okay. I guess I'll elaborate more when I'm back home. But the one thing I really like about it is the sound that it makes. I think the sound is beautiful. I bet you can hear it from here. That sound is just something else. Oh, and by the way, I know this is really, really funny or really random, but check it out. Made my own paracord knuckle roller, and I decided to stop it here. Okay, off to Long John's we go. Long John, we'll go find seat. 6 of us, right? Hainanese Kaya French toast with salted egg crumbs at Long John Silver's. Lotus, bro. What is Biscoff?
It's a biscuit made from Lotus. Really? Biscoff?
What? How does that even make sense, eh?
Yeah. No, because the brand, right, they don't call biscuit, they call Biscoff.
Biscoff, man. It's French, man.
Bro, you believe him, ah?
Uh-huh.
You believe him?
French, or maybe.
I feel like I have to try it. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take one for the team. I'll bite the bullet and I'll try it. I'll just try it. This is not what I signed up for today, but I'll try it because it looks weird.
Which one you gonna take? You want to find the box?
Hainanese Kaya
You tell me what you
French
want.
toast
No, you
with
tell me
salted
what
egg
you want.
crumbs.
I can order together. No need to requeue.
Hi, do you serve this Hainanese Kaya French toast now, or is it breakfast?
whole day.
Okay, I'll try one of those. I'd like to have a G3, which is 1 piece fish, 5 piece calamari.
Yeah, drink.
Drink will be Sprite.
Okay.
And I'd like to have a G7, 2 piece fish and fries and drink. This one make it a Coke. Can I have more crumbs in the meals?
Okay.
Thank you.
$70.70.
Sure, thank you very much. Chong is yours.
Thank you.
Yo, Kenji.
Alright. Yep.
I got an extra drink because I decided to try the King Kaya toast. Never introduced you guys to the two new friends that you've never seen before, but they've been working with me for a long time. It's Jerick and Tony. Jerick and Tony. Normally when we come to Long John's, I usually eat the chicken, but it's fish day. And then Kenji and I are sharing, not really sharing, we're kind of splitting a meal because I'm ordering like the standard fish, and then he's ordered the dory, the battered dory. So here you go.
Is it local? And
Dory fish. Yeah, and then we're just waiting for that kaya thing, and then I'm gonna. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. Next year, let's just try it and see how. I don't know, I've never had salted egg with kaya before. Kaya on a French toast I can still understand, but French toast and kaya and salted egg. My reaction to it is like that lor. Like that lor. You all try some. Like that lor.
Like that lor.
Like that lor. You chill because like that lor. I know what you mean. There goes $4, everyone.
Oh, I know why now, guys.
I already know.
The reason why, right, is because how it works, right, is you need to terbalik, then you eat.
Oh, so your tongue can.
So you can taste, then you combine together, mah.
Genius.
Everything wrong, bro. Everything wrong. It's not that bad, lah. I mean, it's not fantastic, right? But you guys play like, oh, it's damn lousy.
Every flavor is separate. There's no melding of flavors at all.
Then you must smash it together first.
We didn't say it's bad though. We just say it's all so good. Like,
Prata.
all just all say meh. We never said like it's bad. It's like so.
$4 for this is a daylight robbery.
You're not wrong.
No, but to be fair, it's $4 plus a drink. So the verdict is out. $4 for that Hainanese kaya toast. I don't even know if it's really Hainanese though. Is it time?
So you never ask. Hi, Tony.
But yeah.
Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna cut the video here because it's time to play PUBG, and we're gonna get Tony to play with us.
6.5 hours later.
I am back, and I'm here to tell you guys what I really think about the Glowbro spinner by the One Stop Fidget Official. And I know that you guys have missed lunchtime shenanigans, have you not? I hope that you enjoyed that, even though it was just Long John Silver's, but it was interesting because, that toast was weird. What do you guys have in your country for Long John Silver's? Is there even Long John Silver's in America? Because I have no idea. I don't even remember seeing any Long John Silver's outlets in America when I was there 7 years ago and earlier this year. I didn't even see any in Montreal. Okay, well anyway, before I start off, I want to give you guys some specs about this since I did not really cover much of the specs in the initial impressions and unboxing video. The Glowbro is going for $50.99, and I don't know why it's such a weird number. Generally it's $49.99, but this is $50.99. So I don't know, maybe $54.99 would be a nicer number. I really don't know what's up with the pricing, but yeah. Next, I want to let you guys know that this is currently sold out at the time of recording, but maybe by the time you guys see this video, there will be a limited edition honeycomb laser engraved version of the Glowbro, and that means that it is laser engraved both on the covers here as well as the main body. Now you guys know I've spent some time with this, and you guys also know that I swapped out these, and you could see that on this side it is very much, I guess, clean you could say, but on this side you could see some patina happening already. And well, you guys know that I can't really handle copper or brass well. My fingers are always getting red and itchy, and I have to wash my hands every single time I'm done handling the Glowbro spinner. Actually, not just the Glowbro, but anything copper or brass. And I did put some coating here. That's the thing, I did put some Renaissance wax, but unfortunately, you know, it just wears off, and I'll explain to you guys why in a little while. Next, I want to let you guys know that the screws used here are M1.6 by 3mm screws. screws. So you need 16 of them because there's 4 per cover. The buttons here are press fit style buttons and are 20mm wide, and you can actually go up to 22mm with no problems. And the bearing is a R188 bearing, press fit or glue retention style. Now, the length of this is actually 50mm, so that's 5 centimeters. Give you guys a quick size comparison one more time. I know I've did that in the previous video, but here you go, size comparison of the Glowbro next to a stubby. And as you guys heard when I was traveling to lunch, I really like this sound. It's got a very, very nice sound. Alright, so I've spent a week with this. What do I think about it? I think it is alright. As a fidgeter, it's not bad actually. There are some good points and some bad points, but the bad points really do affect my judgment quite a bit because, you know, they are pretty big bad points in my opinion. But for design-wise, I think it's okay. I don't particularly think it's a very appealing design to me. I think it looks a little bit, I don't know, weird. Possibly because I realized that it's not straight. I don't know how to explain this to you. If I line up, okay, I'll line the bottom. Okay, I'll line the bottom. So this and this here like that. I'll line it up. I'll try and get that. Okay, yep. Then you'll see that it is not really straight. Get that? But once you line the sides up like that, then here is not really straight. So this is a little bit, I don't know, it's just, I know that this was a design consideration probably, but this looks weird to me. I think it's just like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just look at something and you go, wait, this kind of looks a little bit off, so this is a little bit off. But because of that, I think that this helps with the ergonomics of it a little bit. I think that spinning this, flicking and pulling is fine. I actually enjoy it quite a lot because of this. It feels like it's off center now, but if I hold it in this orientation, this feels a little bit more comfortable because I don't have to have my finger further up. It feels like I could have my middle finger a bit closer towards my palm, and this is actually pretty comfortable for flicks. And I'm talking about all types of flicks like pullbacks, push forwards, you know, and even if I swap this direction, it's a different tactile feel altogether. I still have that comfort of having my finger closer to my palm, but it's just that if I do that with this orientation, I feel like there's a little bit of a, I guess, a bit more heft behind my finger versus this, where I actually have this edge, this little bump here. It's just a very different experience versus other spinners of the kind of asymmetrical S type of or wave type of design. Design preferences aside, because I don't want to be biased based on design, I'm just talking about the fidgeting experience. The fidgeting experience is honestly not bad, not bad. If we talk about, and I'm going to be throwing the wrench into the gears right here, if we do not have the covers. So the covers here are the main detractors to me. I think that, you know, unfortunately, without the covers, this would be a very, very boring, very plain design. And with the covers, they do look kind of cool. Like someone mentioned in my video, yes, it is the word cyberpunk. Yes, it does look quite cyberpunk. But the covers are the ones that are causing me the most discomfort when I'm actually fidgeting with it. Now, you'll see that I mentioned the patina, right? And you notice the patina is always on the edge, the outer edge, the outermost edge here, as well as here, and the upper edges right there. So that means that my finger doesn't really touch the top of the covers, they actually touch the sides. And I generally like to hold the Glowbro in this orientation with this little part over here because I like that feeling out there a little bit better because, you know, I feel like this over here is more comfortable in this orientation. But you guys know I like to perform a lot of pullback flicks, and the issue arises when you're stopping it. Ouch. Yeah, so that happens. This part actually just bites. I don't know why, but this edge right here, it bites into my finger, and it is very apparent every single time I stop it. Now, if I hold it in this orientation, and I'm just sharing this with you guys, okay? If I hold it in this orientation, every time I stop it, like, and I'm talking about a hard stop, it actually bites into my middle finger. So it's the back here, the back, this part that actually rubs into my middle finger. But if I change the orientation and I perform pullbacks, then what happens when I stop it is it actually hurts my fourth finger instead because it's right there. See that edge? That edge is that corner, it's right there. And I attribute that to the fact that these edges are actually not just hard edges, they are pretty sharp. I feel that they could have been finished a little bit better, and I'm talking about copper and brass, both. There's no chamfering featured here, and I understand why. I actually gave this feedback to Asire and I said, hey, you know what? This is actually pretty sharp. I wish it was chamfered, but it's limited by the amount of material. So I said, I understand that completely, that you probably need more material. Either you're going to have to raise these plates a little bit higher, or you're going to have to expand them and make them wider and longer, but that might affect your overall design. But that's the only way, because right now the screws are actually cutting it pretty close. you see, to the edge, and I'm talking about the screw ports here, so you can see really, really close to the edge. And so that is the main negative factor to me about this spinner, why I'm not enjoying the fidgeting experience as much, unfortunately. If not for that, I think that it'll be a much better fidgeter, but that really is a big gripe to me. Now, the next thing I want to mention is that I think that the screw ports could have been finished and tapped a little bit better. Hold on, let me go grab the brass plates and I can explain it to you guys. And this is another gripe that I can't really classify as a gripe. It's just more like a PSA to all of you guys. One thing you gotta take note about the covers is that these, honestly speaking, aren't finished very well. You could see that this one looks really clean, and the reason why I took out these brass plates is because I wanted to let you guys know that I took a buffing pad to it and I kind of cleaned it up. So you can see that the slots are actually pretty clean, right? But on the copper ones, like right here, you could see some flash on the inside. Look at the top corners of all of the vents here. You can see some flash on the inside and they are not finished and cleaned up really well. So that's one big gripe that I have. And the next thing is that you guys got to be careful, because when you are unscrewing these screws, you got to take extra care not to slip, because once your screwdriver slips, and you know brass and copper are softer metals, they will get scratched. You could see a little scratch right here. Yeah, you guys can see that scratch there. So I'd scratch that, and this is by no fault of the design, rather I would blame the machining as well as my own fault, of course, because one of the main things I felt is that the tapping could have been done a little bit better for the screws, because the screws felt kind of iffy, you know. It isn't really countersunk like in a funnel design, it's just flat, and the screws don't just sit in nicely, they kind of float on top. So you're gonna have to be really careful when you're using your precision screwdrivers. Just make sure that you have it on the screw and you go slow. Don't apply too much pressure downwards, because I tend to do that. I'm sure everyone does. When you are unscrewing screws and you're installing screws, you kind of put a downward pressure towards it. But once it slips, you're going to have a high chance of scratching the plates up here, and it's going to be pretty unsightly because these are brushed finish as well as they're softer metals. So unless you're planning to stonewash these things, or you're going to give it a mirror polish every single time, something that you have to be careful of if you don't want to get scuffs and scratches by screwdriver, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's another thing that I really wanted to share. Apart from that, that basically is it. There isn't really much that I have else to say about the Glowbro. You guys know my thoughts about it already. I think all in all, it's a pretty alright fidgeter. It's not the most fantastic because of this. Like, I'm not able to give it a strong flick because I want to be able to stop it, and I just did it again. So for me, hey, that's cool. That's a nice, interesting experience, just pinching it this way to stop it. But you know, part of the satisfaction that I get from fidgeting with spinners is not just performing flicks, but also just stopping it in its tracks and then starting to flick again. And for this one, once it started to bite me, I was like, no, I'm not able to get the other 50% of that satisfaction, and that is a little bit unfortunate, you know, because yeah, it's, I guess this is the first iteration of the Glowbro. You know, maybe in future, who knows, maybe the One Stop Fidget will consider actually chamfering these, or maybe having the covers a little bit wider so that, you know, you could have more chamfering or some rounding at least, you know. The frame itself is great because you could see that it is chamfered nicely and is rounded on the corners as well. So the frame itself is good. Just that this thing looks super lackluster without the covers, and last but not least, its design, right? And the next thing I'm going to talk about before I end off what I really think about this thing is the buttons. And I think that the buttons are interesting because you have these kind of knurling or jimping on the sides, and they do feel comfortable, but they look kind of boring, you know, in terms of the way it looks right now. Among the plethora of different buttons there are in the market, this looks a little bit boring, and unfortunately, I think that this design doesn't go with the spinner at all. It looks weird because these cuts here are so sharp and so pronounced, they're so clean. I'm talking about sharp cuts, like as in clean cuts, you know, straight lines. But this one doesn't really look clean at all. It looks like a pizza crust, you know what I mean? It looks like a pretzel, a pizza crust. So that's it just is like a conflicting kind of thing. So in my opinion, that looks weird. So you guys can see in the corner, I am getting about 2 to 3 minutes on a two-handed table spin, and I'm using just the copper covers without any weights or any trits on the inside. So once you put more weights in the form of trits or any kind of spacer beads, then it's gonna have more weight, and I believe that you'll improve the spin time. Just so you guys know, it's not that great, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? Yeah. And right now, before ending off the video, there is something that I want to address, and that is one of the comments left on the initial impressions video. And this comment is left by Ben King. Now, Ben King pointed out that I should have mentioned that I helped to name the spinner. Yes, I helped to name the spinner. I named it the Glowbro. It was just a random question sent to me by Asire and said, hey, I just need some help thinking of a name, and here's the design of the spinner. Just have a look and tell me if you have any names on that. And I think that's fine. I apologize for not mentioning that I helped to name the spinner, but I had no hand in the design process at all. No hand in designing it, no help in designing it, no advice put in before this actually went into production. So Ben actually mentioned that since you are the one who named the spinner, you should mention this fact and your association with the maker and involvement in the design making of the spinner, if any, rather than give the impression that this is a totally unbiased review. Your review will be better for it. I'm sorry, Ben. I know I replied you, but I just wanted to highlight this, and I also want to just put this out there for all of you who are viewing my video. That video that Ben King actually left a comment on is an initial impressions video. This was sent to me for a honest review. Now, why would I disrespect a maker by not giving an honest review? If they reach out to me and say, I'm gonna send you a product, please review it, please tell me your thoughts. So here I am telling you my thoughts. The first video was an initial impressions video. It's a first impressions video, and the first impressions were then. Now I'm back after spending about a week with this, and here I am telling you guys what I really think about it. Ben, I appreciate your view, and I appreciate you leaving the comment, and I appreciate your support on that video itself, but I really can't see and understand where you're coming from. I don't see how this information, whether or not I just make it known to everyone, oh, you know, Asire is a friend of mine and so it'll be a better review video. No, I really can't see that, because this is an honest opinion. It's my unbiased review, whether or not Asire is a friend, whether or not Asire is someone that I know personally. Now, I'm gonna put it out there. Asire is not someone that I consider a friend. Asire is a maker, and I run this channel. So Asire reaches out to me on business terms, on a professional level. Asire doesn't know who I am as a person. Asire knows me as the average Singaporean, the person who does spinner review videos, and Asire reaches out to me to send me products so I could review them. That's it. So I don't understand, and I feel kind of stupid and I feel kind of shitty that I have to address this here, but it's comments like that that make me feel that people don't understand what is going on. And it just, to me, it just makes me feel like if I'm not gonna give my honest review, then what's the point? I pride myself in making unbiased reviews. If I don't like something, I'll say that I don't like it. It doesn't matter whether or not I know the person, I know the maker, I know the designer personally. I really don't care. If it sucks, it sucks, and that's what I will say. You know what I mean? I don't have to say it in a harsh way, but if it sucks, it sucks. That's that. And that's about it, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing in the slice of my life. Let me know what you think about the comment that Ben King left. I don't want you guys to bash him, because I believe that he was also being unbiased. I really appreciate when people leave comments like that. It's just that for that particular comment, it really made me feel like there are still viewers that really don't understand what is going on, and they're taking things in the wrong way when it's not meant to be like that. So I really wanted to put that out there because I want you guys to know, and just let me know what you guys really think about it. So I'm gonna end the video right now because I've already put all my thoughts about the Glowbro out there. I hope that I provided enough information to help you decide whether or not the Glowbro is a spinner for you. As always, links in the description box, and just go check them out, the One Stop Fidget. Thanks once again to Asire and the One Stop Fidget team for sending this over to me, especially for owning up to your mistake and sending me replacement covers because the other cover was wrong. I'll catch all of you in the next slice of my life, and until then, Gaga Boost!